Okay, good evening, everyone. Okay, first of all, thank you, Vikram. He clarified a lot of things which you would have taken from his perspective. Now, my objective is a little different, or rather completely different. I'm going to talk about the soft skills and importance and relevance of soft skills in certain life. I'll start by giving a little small introduction of myself. My name is Gopakumar. I'm a certified coach from International Coach Federation. Been in the corporate world for almost 15, 20 years now, across certain association with IBM, GE Capital, Citibank. Currently working in Dubai for a bank here called Emirates NBD. I am a certified PCC coach from ICF, and I've been coaching and mentoring colleagues from different walks of life for the last few years. So that is a brief about myself. Now, the way we will go ahead is I have a small presentation, just 4 to 5 slides, so that doesn't bore you much. So I'll try to give an overall gist of what soft skills is all about, why is it important, what does it compose, and how do you inculcate soft skills within us, which is important for us. Now, within 15, 20 minutes, I'll try to wrap it up because it's an overview of soft skills. And after that, I'll open up the floor for any questions. So the last 10 minutes, we can have some questions. So unlike the earlier topics which you had on data science, etc., this is very, very light. So I would request if we can participate. Please push in your questions. There is one slide which I really want to be interactive, and we can take it from there. The first one is the soft skills. Now, there are 3 components which I've broken this up to so that we all know and we can digest it pretty well. One is the why part, because we should always approach anything with the why. So what's the why is soft skills important, right? Why are we talking about soft skills? There is too much of focus on soft skills of late, where though technical expertise is important, why is it important? Second one is the what. So what is soft skills? While soft skills is a statement which everybody has been using left, right, center, what does it really comprise of? And then eventually we'll come back to how do we master various attributes of soft skills? What are the key components and how do we get there, right? Now, how do we get there? It's a very, very broad category. There are n number of skills under soft skills which comprises of, and we have to take it each and everything in detail, which we do not have the bandwidth now, but we will try to touch upon few of the important ones. So moving to the next slide. Before that, so soft skills, basically, just to give you some background of soft skills, it was this term was created by the US Army in around 1960s, late 1960s. So they refer to that skill as anything which does not employ or use of any machinery, that was categorized as soft skills. So the military, they realized that there are some important activities which had to be done with human intervention and not the machinery itself. So that is how it is. So though, hard skills are important, just to showcase those hard skills, it's really important that we have soft skills. So just one example which I can give is, you would have done an engineering for 4 years, but in an interview, somebody asks, what did you do? That 4 years has to be explained in 4 minutes, and that is where you need the soft skills, right? So we'll focus on that in the coming slides. Now, this is the slide which I was talking about, where a little bit of interaction is required from you all. So success. So this is probably the most important word or term which we which we relate to in our life, right? Everybody wants to be successful. Everybody, the definition of success might be different for each one of us. Somebody would associate this with learning, somebody would associate this with earning money, financials, anything, but success is something which we all aim for at the end of the day. So if you have to influence success, you need to understand it, right? So everybody wants to influence, everybody wants to get it, but what is success all about? That's we are hardly aware of that. Or if we have an answer what success is, probably it's half cooked. So let's go a little more deeper into understanding success so that we can influence it, right? So there are two components primarily which contributes to success, right? If you have any clue, you can just write it on the message. The two components which contributes to success. So any idea what those two are? Okay, I'll continue. There might be a lag in streaming it on the YouTube, but the two components are domain expertise, which I'm sure you all will be aware of, and the next one is soft skills, right? So domain expertise is the knowledge which you have, which if within the chosen field of specialization and learning. It can be anything. If you're studying for mechanical engineering, it can be that one. It can be medicine. If it's doctorate, it's medicine. Basically, any particular specialization which you're trying to do in your area, that domain expertise is that particular knowledge. The SME, subject matter expert, which we say. So if you're a doctor, you're supposed to know where the kidneys are, where the heart is, how it's functioning. That's domain expertise. If you're an auditor, you're supposed to know how to conduct audits. So that is domain expertise. And the other part is the soft skills. The soft skills is anything which is not a part of domain expertise. It's anything under the ground, right? Ability to handle stress, interpersonal skills, decision making, communication skills. The lot of these ability to get things done which is not technical, which doesn't involve any machinery, that can be classified as soft skills, right? So these two are the key aspects which contributes to success. And I'm sure you all will agree to me. Now, my most important question to everyone, which I need you all to think, take your time, think through and answer is, according to you, what percentage of the success is determined by domain expertise and what percentage is determined by soft skill? You can reply me back in percentage. So if success is 100%, how much is domain expertise? How much is soft skill? So there is no right or wrong answer. I just want you to guess. So just take 30 seconds to a minute. Let's probably pause for some time, but I really want you to just think through this question. Okay, so the answers which I've got is 40-60, Sai Kumar, Mohammed Patel 40-60, 50-50, good guess. Any more guesses? Okay, so as per the study done by Stanford. So Stanford, what they did is, this is one of the biggest universities in the world. They conducted a study. They surveyed around 500 plus top executives in various different stages of their lives to figure out what they thought, how much is domain expertise and success. And this is the percentage what they had to say. Now, trust me, this is not a cooked up story. This is not my percentage. So this is something which has come from some serious research and study and survey. Now, you can think on these lines. Now, domain expertise and soft skill, while they are the only two components to success, the role which soft skill plays is far, far higher than what a domain expertise or technical knowledge plays. So I want you to think through this really, really hard, because this is a very, very important aspect. We all think that even before I studied this survey, even I was thinking around 60-40. But then I was astonished too, saying that soft skills has emerged as a very important player in our lives for success. Right? So this is one slide which I want you to always remember. So hard skills basically are kind of useless if without soft skills. So if in most of the jobs, technical skills are not only enough to be really effective. So for example, you take a salesperson, right? He can be very, very good at the knowledge of the product, but if he doesn't have those interpersonal skills to speak to the customer, he cannot convert it into a sale. So that's the importance of soft skills. Now that the why part is covered, composition. Now, what is soft skills, right? What does it comprise of? Now, as I mentioned, soft skills is anything which doesn't talk about the technical aspect. It's a combination of personality traits, behaviors, social attitudes. It's more intangible and non-technical abilities, right? The most important, the beauty of soft skills is it's transferable. Now, when I say transferable, I mean that any particular skill, for example, negotiation skills, for example, communication skills, it's not restricted to one particular career. It can be displayed in different aspects, different types of jobs. So that's what I meant by transferable, and it's related to your intuitions and the emotional side of human beings. So that's where soft skill lie, and it allows people to communicate effectively, collaborate, and manage conflicts. All these three which is mentioned here are key to success. Very, very important to success. Now, application. Now, if you see the application part, give me 1 second, let me lower it. Yeah. If we talk about the application part, now you look at it. I just mentioned a few of the jobs here: doctor, sales officer, customer service agent, auditor, scientist, any kind of technical job you might be doing, but there is an importance and relevance of soft skill in all of these. Right? So doctors, now you might be a specialist, you might be really, really good at your knowledge, but then if you are not good to handle people, or if you're not collaborative, if you're not able to manage the emotions of people, then that's a big flaw, right? If it's a sales officer, you don't have those interpersonal skills, it's very, very difficult. If you're a customer service agent, if you don't have those communication skills, having just the knowledge of the product, it's very, very difficult to survive. So on and so forth. So that is the reason why soft skills has got such a relevance. And these are some of the aspects which I wanted you to keep in mind. IQ versus EQ. Now, IQ and EQ, these are terminology which you would have definitely heard in the past, right? Intelligence quotient and emotional quotient. Now, this IQ versus EQ is something like a hard skill versus a soft skills. While intelligence quotient talks about your expertise, your knowledge, emotional quotient is basically around how do you handle yourself, your emotions, others' emotions, how do you manage, how do you judge, and then take the course of action. While both are important, EQ has emerged as a very significant factor in the recent years, especially with the year where you can see all these challenges. EQ is something which has really emerged as a differentiator. There may be instances you might be seeing the world is getting into a completely robotic place, digital environment, automations, APIs, IAs, everything is taking control. So eventually every organization will reach there. But then what will differentiate is the ability of the people to handle these aspects, right? How good they are in soft skills. That's one part. The second one is the VUCA world. Now, I don't know if you've heard this term. VUCA is, it's been in the system for like last couple of decades. If you look at the olden times, it was literally black and white. There was no much of complexity involved. Now, with the current industry, trend, market, everything, there is a lot of uncertainty across the system. Now, that is where this acronym was coined, which said we use CA. It stands for vulnerability, uncertainty, complexity, and ambiguity. So the soft skills plays a very important role, especially in this part where it's volatile, right? This volatility, the V is basically the speed of change in the industry, the rate at which changes are happening. Uncertainty is basically the extent to which we can confidently predict the future. So as of now, it's so difficult to predict the future. Complexity, things were much simpler a few years back. Now it's become so complex. We have the tendency to complicate everything. And then the ambiguity, that's basically the lack of clarity, right? So we really don't know what's going to happen. It's absolutely gray all across. So in this kind of an environment, soft skills plays a very, very important role. How do you adapt yourself? How do you take on change? How flexible are you? How resilient are you? So for example, if you fall because of some failure, how soon do you bounce back? So all these things are so important in the current world. The next one is something called metacognition. Not sure if you've heard this word. Again, this is basically talking about cognition is the ability of us to think and act, be analytical, etc. So metacognition is kind of thinking about your thinking, right? For example, self-reflection. Self-reflection is you had a bad day. Now, after the bad day, you come back, you start analyzing the day. You start thinking about yourself, how you acted, your actions, your thought process. So thinking about your thought process, your actions is what this is all about. So metacognition is one of the important aspects which has been emerged as a very, very important metric nowadays. So it's basically the ability to control your thought process, right? So various strategies. Now it can be adapting yourself, it can be monitoring, etc. So it's basically the ability to reflect upon the tasks which you have processed, right? So that's metacognition. And then the last one is something called as neuro-linguistic programming and cognitive behavior therapy. Now, NLP is another aspect which has come up really, really widespread recently. People have started talking about it. There are a lot of coaches and mentors who have been applying the neuro-linguistic programming in their coaching process. It all boils down to how you can change yourself, how you can focus on your thoughts, your actions, so that you become better at it. So if there is anything which is, for example, you have to convert a negative thought to a positive thought, how you can change it, how you can take control of your own thoughts and your own actions. So these are certain things which is really important apart from just having the domain expertise. So that is what this slide is all about. And then There is one last slide which I wanted to just take you all three. Probably this is the most important, which are the key attributes of soft skills. Now, if you go to Google and type different soft skills, there will be 100 of them which is popping up, right? Now, it is difficult to either remember them or relate to them. So I tried to do a process of putting it together and making it much simpler for you. So we'll just go through those 5 elements which I feel that is important from a soft skill perspective. The first one is social intelligence. Now, we spoke about EQ, right, which is the emotional quotient. Now, this is probably the next stage, social intelligence. So this is basically talking about your ability to think, act, and respond, right? So there is something called as an emotional quotient. There's something called as a social quotient. Now, this probably is a mix. Social quotient is a larger set of the emotional quotient. So this basically talks about how socially active are you, right? How are you thinking, your ability to control your thought, how can you judge your behavior of the other people whom you're talking to, understand so that you can change your behavior according to the situation. So this is something to do with that aspect, social quotient, social intelligence, where you become socially active. You know, this is something which is so important for the students now, because we have forgotten that there is a world outside. We have forgotten that there is something called as a social gathering, social network. There's a wrong time to talk about social networking, I agree, but this is something really, really important. I just read a cartoon phrase saying that, you know, this is, I have 100 friends on Facebook. So when we were kids, these kind of friends were used to be called as imaginary friends, right? So we might have hundreds and thousands of friends on Facebook, but are you interacting with each and every one of them, or how many of them are you socially active with? That's more important, because that trait you have to slowly develop so that you become much smarter, and that will develop a lot of these key social and emotional skills within you. It can be about collaboration, it can be about negotiation, creating urgency, talking to them, problem solving. All those things is a part of social intelligence, but problem solving I will come to in the next part. So that's about social intelligence. The next one which I wanted to talk is problem solving. So problem solving basically is anything, right? You know, this is a very simple terminology. Problem solving, it includes logical reasoning, decision making, creativity, analytical thinking. Everything is a part of this. So it's all about using logic as well as an imagination to make sense of situation, come up with some intelligent solution. That's all problem solving is all about. So in fact, the best problem solvers actively anticipate the potential future problems. So if you are a problem solver, one is you can solve the problem, but you can also anticipate the future. So that is an ability which you will automatically cultivate. And once you anticipate, you can try to mitigate them, right, and their effects. So the number of skills are already a part of this involved, because creativity is a part of problem solving. We talk about decision making, that's a part of problem solving. Analytical skills, which is really important, that's a part of problem solving. So quite a bit of it is already covered in this. The third one, the third one which I wanted to talk is integrity. Now, what comes to our mind when integrity word comes up is nothing but honesty, right? Though honesty and integrity goes hand in hand, but integrity is much more than just being honest. So it's to be, you need to be brave, you know, so if you are to be truthful to yourself, be yourself, that needs some bravery. Approachability, trust, respect, credibility. So these are certain skills which integrity comes into. So this is something which is utmost important. So if you are high on integrity, which means that it's easy for you to gain the credibility within the team. So I'm sure in the future you all will be working within the team. So to gain credibility, to gain respect, this is one important skill which we need to have. I mean, nobody wants to be perfect, but something very close to it is if you have very high integrity. So an individual who does their job with integrity, they can gain a reputation very well, and a reputation called dependable, right? So that's a very important aspect in a team player. So if team starts depending on you, they call you dependable, then that's a real important aspect. So these traits can help you to stand out within a company, in whichever company you're working. So integrity plays an important role. The fourth one is communication. Not sure if you've heard the 7% rule. The 7% rule is a part of the community. It's coined by a person called Albert Mehrabian. He did a lot of research and he came up with the conclusion that if communication is 100%, then it's only the spoken words, the words which we talk, is only 7% contribution to the personal communication. For example, if we take an example of we arguing with somebody, maybe our partner, our friends, if we are fighting, the words which we say has only 7% impact. 38% impact is the way we say that, the voice, the tone, the intonation which we use, that has got 38% weightage or impact. And then lastly, 55% of the remaining goes to the body language, right? What is our approach? What is our body language when we said that? So communication, both verbal and non-verbal, is very, very important. And some people misunderstand that what is communication? It's very simple, right? Talking is communication. No, talking and communication are completely different, right? So you need to learn to communicate. Talking can be done just like that, but communication needs a lot of learning and practice. And body language, negotiation, creating urgency, presentation skills, everything can come into this one metric called communication. The last one is a word called elasticity. Now, well, as soon as we talk about elasticity, what comes into our mind is a rubber band, right? Now, adaptability, how do we develop a resilient attitude is extremely important nowadays. When I said that it's a VUCA world and it's very unpredictable, there are high chances of we not able to predict the future. So we are not able to prepare our actions. And there might be a lot of situations where we did not do well as per our expectation or others' expectation, and we fail. Now, the most important part is if you fail, how quickly do you bounce back? How quickly do you take it up, pick it up, learn from the mistakes, ensure that doesn't happen in the future? That ability to bounce back like a rubber ball is called resilience. So that's something which is really important. And adaptability. Adaptability is nothing but to adapt to your surroundings, to change. It's a soft skill that means rapidly learn new skills and behaviors in response to the changing circumstances. That is basically adaptability. So now that we all know that change is the only constant thing in the world, how quickly do you adapt to those changes? That measures success, that defines success. So this is another one, which is elasticity. So while I put all these together, it just automatically, created an acronym called SPICE. So you probably can remember it as SPICE, because if there's no spice in the food, it's a little blunt, right? So consider soft skills as your spice to the food, which adds that flavor, which makes it more delicious, but don't overdo it. then that can take you to a different tangent. So this is all which oh yeah, spice it up. Okay, so this is all which I had for today. I don't know how much of time have I taken, but if there is any questions, I'm happy to take it, because always remember, no question is silly. I saw some of the answers now. Deepthi said 30/70, so she's very close. She was very close. Any questions? Okay, so there are some questions that has come up. So why do you think soft skill is so important in today's time? Now that's a very good question. Now let us just retrospect. Today's time means you would have seen there's a lot of impact due to Corona, right? So the COVID situation has taken all of us by surprise. A lot of these things which we wouldn't have thought we can work from home, we have to start working from home. So things have become remote, things have become digital. So it has become all the more important how we can manage our people, how we can manage our skills remotely. So that is an entirely different aspect of soft skill which we need to focus on. And the situation is going to stay. I mean, we might come out of the COVID in the recent future, but the design of how we've started working now, the work from home situation probably is to continue. So soft skills are more important from a managerial skills, leadership skills, when people are not around us. If we have to remotely manage our team, soft skills will become really more important. So the spice which I was talking about is very, very relevant in the current scenario. The next question I saw is how is Acquire going to teach us soft skills? So I will leave this with Dr. Unikrishnan and the team to reach out to you with the modules. But I would say the answer is yes. How can we improve our soft skills? Sai Kumar. So Sai Kumar, good question. Now, soft skills and improving the soft skills is not an overnight journey. They're definitely interacting with people, being more social. That's one key ability. And there are a lot of these modules on internet and Google, which can probably teach you how to improve. But the crux of the matter is that you have to be out there, right? You have to increase your networking, you have to increase talk, because communication is a key soft skill, and that cannot come by going through certain books. So there are modules, all the 5 elements which you saw, which is SPICE. Each and every element is a subject in itself. So we have to learn it over a period of time, right? So I'll give you a quick analogy, because we started learning ABCD at the age of 4 or 5, but it took us 5-6 years to construct a proper sentence in English, right? So it took time. So is soft skills. It will take some time. I'm not saying 4 or 5 years, but we have to approach it. There are certain modules. We have to go through some case studies. We have to do some demo live sessions, and then we can definitely improve the soft skills. How can someone from rural India who is highly introvert person change themselves? That's a very good question. Rural India introvert. Now, see, there is a difference between introvert and extrovert. An extrovert has got a small edge, I agree, but it's not that introvert cannot do it. I have seen a lot of my friends who had been introvert, but they're absolutely good at the soft skills, because introvert communication is the only skill which probably an introvert has to do work a little more harder than an extrovert. But all other skills like being confident, integrity, elasticity, anything else, there is no differentiation. At least I don't differentiate introvert and extrovert. So in fact, I myself was an introvert the last few years, right? I never used to interact with others much, but then over a period of time, you get there. So with the proper guidance, with proper learning, proper techniques, you can be a master of soft skills. Anybody can be a master of soft skills. And if you are a master of soft skills, 87% of success is already in your pocket. It's another question. Will you cover email writing and all practice use topics, sir? I mean, will you teach us this? Yes, of course. If it's a part of curriculum, I'm working with Dr. Unikrishnan to see if we can create certain modules which can help you guys. When we talk about communication skills, it includes every kind of communication, whether it's written, email, whether it is verbal, non-verbal, body language, everything is covered under the communication part. So I think I have overshot the time by around 7 to 8 minutes. I'm so sorry to pull everyone back. So if there is no much questions, I would want to wrap this up. For any further questions, please reach out to Acquire and I'll be more than happy to support. Thank you so much, everyone, and have a great weekend ahead.